Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I know you've been waiting for another session, just like I promised last week. So today we got one awesome person right here with us on our STEM It Buzz session. His name is Innocent Mamvura. I hope that I'm saying it right. And yeah, he will let us know about himself. And oh, before we just dive into our show or our session, I just wanna tell you, if you missed out on the introduction to Python on Tuesday, you still can catch it on our YouTube channel, also on our Facebook page. You just have to like the Facebook page, subscribe on our YouTube channel, and then enable notifications for other sessions that will be coming up after this one. And don't forget again, on Tuesday it's another introduction to Python with more content on it. Without further ado, I just want to give opportunity to Mr. Innocent Mambura. Um, he's a data scientist. I also been trying to learn data science before, and it's been hectic. With some others that we attended a program for data science, they know that it's hectic and needs time, it needs practice. But he's gonna show us the easy ways. He's gonna show us the easy ways on how to um, learn that data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, computer vision. I hope. Oh yeah, and deep learning too. Yeah. So I'm just gonna give this opportunity to Mr. Innocent Manvura, and with the questions, I would like to ask you guys to ask the questions on YouTube, even on Facebook, and then we can answer those questions after the session or after he has showed us some tricks. And I'm also hyped up, and it's like the cat got cut my tongue, but no, I'm just so hyped up, so hyped about it. And yeah, I hope you are too, right there at home watching or on your phone watching, wherever you are. Yeah, you're just bringing you some hit up in here. All right, Mr. Innocent.
Yes, Richard, I'm ready.
Awesome. You can take it away.
Okay, thank you. Can I have access to sharing this?
Yep. Now it's enabled.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone, for joining this session today. So today we're going to look at some of the cutting-edge technologies the hype of the fourth industrial revolution. So we're going to define some terminologies, and we will touch base on the skills that are required for one to be involved in the fourth industrial revolution technologies. And we're also going to look at what are some of the cool innovations or cool developments that have been developed in South Africa and in the worldwide. We're also going to do a short demo of some of the technologies that we are using in artificial intelligence as well. So yes, so my name is Innocent Mamvura. So I'm just trying to share my screen here. I am a data scientist by profession. I'm a data scientist by profession, and I'm into artificial intelligence and machine learning. So that is my key specific area of interest. I have been involved in quite a number of projects, in artificial intelligence and in data science, and also in the training of data science. So we've been involved in training some of the guys that want to be involved in data science, and also some students at various universities. I'm just trying to share my screen. Hopefully we can see it. I just want let you to confirm if you can see my slides, then I can start. Okay, apologies for that. Let me try again. We have tested this, it was working. Let me just see. Okay. What about now, let's? Okay. What about now? Back to the slides. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's start. It's back to the slides. You can see it, right? Okay, perfect. So like I said, my name is Innocent. I am the founder and of Fusion AI Private Limited, and also a data scientist by profession, an AI expert in the field of artificial intelligence. I hold an honors degree in mathematics and master's degree in actuarial science and statistics through the University of Witwatersrand. So I'm also involved in the what we call Fusion AI communities, which is a community of AI practitioners, enthusiasts. We'll just gather, we meet on Sundays and discuss some of the content and topics in AI. I'm also involved in the Kids Coding Program, where we meet with the kids on Saturdays. It's a virtual program, and we teach them coding and programming. So this is just me in a nutshell. I do work at Wits University as well. That's where I'm a data scientist there. Okay, so let me introduce the fourth industrial revolution. I've got a video that I think hopefully it will play and people can hear it. It's also from YouTube. So that video will give you a quick intro of what is the industrial revolution. We do have the first industrial revolution, the second, the third, and the fourth. So my topic are on the fourth industrial revolution, but this video will give you a brief history of what is.
Technologies like artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles,
That's the last volume I have.
Already own nearly half of the world's wealth. Experts warn we are in a winner-takes-all economy where high-skilled workers are rewarded with high pay and the rest of workers are left out. Studies confirm technologies like AI will eliminate some jobs and create demand for new skills that many workers don't have. Privacy concerns are another issue. As the industrial revolution, every company into the art company. Industries from food to retail to banking are going digital. It results in a lack of data about their customers and brand. Consumers are starting to learn that too much about their companies and how.
Okay, so I think the volume was low, but you could see some pictures of what is the first industrial revolution, what was involved, the second, the transition from the second to the third, and the fourth industrial revolution. So this term, the fourth industrial revolution, it was coined by this Professor Schwab in 2019 at the World Economic Forum. So he's the founder and the chairman of the World Economic Forum. So that's when this term, the fourth industrial revolution, was coined. So to him, he's convinced that we are at the beginning of a revolution that is fundamentally changing the way we live, work, and relate to one another, which explores in his new book. He even published a book on the fourth industrial revolution. So the other point that I want to make is just to stress the definition of the fourth. It represents a new era of innovation in technology. So we have seen robots, we have seen how they are using the artificial intelligence in the healthcare industry and how they're using it in the financial industry. It's also will enhance the human-machine relationships. So what basically it means is we are at a stage where we developing robots or humanoids from even to do some jobs that as humans we used to do. So all those repetitive jobs, some of them they have been taken over by robots. So we need to be in a good relationship, communicate with them and work with the robots side by side. It's also going to unlock the new market opportunities and fuel growth across the global economy. So that's the kind of the definition or the understanding of what is the fourth industrial revolution. So in the fourth industrial revolution, we can see technologies such as robotics, artificial intelligence, internet of things, and then there's going to be more digitalization and automation. So this automation is going to play a huge role to increase efficiency and the way we doing our work. So it is a fusion. So the fourth industrial revolution, it is a fusion of three main areas, which is the digital, the physical. So when you talk about the physical, we have seen autonomous vehicles, so the cars that drive on its own. So the self-driveless cars, they fall under the physical. And the advanced robotics, we have seen 3D printing, even in the manufacturing industry. And in the biological side of things, we see now the neurotechnology. So they're trying to improve the human brain, the way we think, the way we execute jobs, activities. And we also, so that fusion of these three main technologies is what they refer to as the fourth industrial revolution. Big data, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence. So the next slide talks about some of the developments that are on the market. This image here shows the autonomous vehicles. There's quite some work that's being done in the UK, in the States, in China, in this space. Then the virtual reality. Then we do have quantum computing that's just heating up now, and seeing huge advancements in the quantum computing space. Then 3D printing, and also the use of drones. We have seen some use cases even in Africa, Rwanda, Ghana, and even South Africa. So these are some of the just a few developments that are new and are on the market. That's neuroscience. But again, when we look at the effect or the impact of the fourth industrial revolution to the economy and to us, there has been some negative developments in terms of people losing their jobs. These are some of the few examples that I'm displaying here of where people have lost their jobs because of these new technologies that have been introduced. We have seen Standard Bank cutting jobs, ABSA, multi-choice as well, retrenchments. So the question is, what do we need to do as a country to try and save as many jobs as we can? So we need to start to reskill our workforce. We need to start to retrain in some areas our workforce and give people the new skills such as data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning skills, quantum computing skills, deep learning skills, in order for us to be relevant to the current job market. This slide just talks about how South Africa is responding to the Industry 4.0. We have seen a number of forums headed by our president. We have seen the developments that's happening, where a committee was set to respond to the nationwide fourth industrial revolution. We also see last year there was the Digital Economy Summit as well, which was mainly organized to address the issues of the fourth industrial revolution. This is just a statement by the Premier of Gauteng, Mr. David Makura, where he's also saying that we are in South Africa also moving fast to a future in which 41% of the current jobs in South Africa will be rendered obsolete by automation. So I've spoken about automation, and when 35% of the skills are considered important in today's workforce. So this is what's happening, and these are some of the skills that are needed in the fourth industrial revolution era. So there has to be a workforce readiness. Some examples, the literacy programs, numerous programs, digital literacy itself, self-presentation, time management, professionalism, and social norms. So the purpose of this is to support youth in finding and securing employment. So I think as youth, as the young people, we need to start to focus or to look at these four main categories that are relevant or aligned to the fourth industrial revolution. We also need soft skills. So we also need soft skills to support the youth as they integrate and collaborate with the internal and external workplace stakeholders, such as customers and co-workers. So the soft skills to preparing yourself for interviews, communication skills, how you communicate with even the robots, how you communicate with even the human beings, the social skills that support interpersonal relationships. So some of the examples in that space is communication, critical thinking, creative thinking, and collaboration in order for us to adapt to the fourth industrial revolution. So that's the second main category of the skills that are required in the fourth industrial revolution. Then technical skills is to give the youth technical or domain expertise to perform job-specific tasks. So we need people who can actually be writing codes, programmers. We need developers. We need people with these skills in artificial intelligence, people who can use algorithms to solve business problems. Then we also need entrepreneurship skills, because there's going to be a lot of job creation, and some jobs will be lost, but some will be created. So we need entrepreneurship, people who are ready to launch their businesses. There's a lot of funding in the AI space at the moment for startup companies. People would like to start up their own companies in the AI space. We need people who can innovate. So that's innovation, and people who can create. We've got a creative mind. So as the youth or the young people, we have got these ideas. Let's put them on paper, and then let's approach the right people to for consideration, and try as much as we can to execute the idea that's on paper. We need people who are curious as well, and to know things, to act upon their ideas. There are quite a number of skills development programs at the moment. For instance, the data science programs that are available, platforms for you to learn could be the best platforms. Could be your Coursera, Data Camp, where you can find relevant courses that are free for you to learn. Excuse me. So they do have a lot of data science courses on those platforms. We also need their programs in cybersecurity, because security it's a concern, because we are working with large volumes of data. Some of it is personal information. So we need to start to think of ways of securing that information and not losing it as we use that information in these algorithms. Cloud computing is one big area where we see now the likes of AWS, Microsoft, Huawei playing a huge role in developing these services or these technologies or frameworks. I will show you some few examples on artificial intelligence using cloud computing platforms. There's also programs in drone piloting, so where we need people who can actually, engineers in the drone space, people who can actually develop or program these drones. 3D printing and software development. So this is just a few of them, of the developmental programs that one can start to think of and maybe develop interest and look for the resources or platforms where they can start to learn and develop themselves. So how is this 4IR going to benefit the nation? Is going to benefit us? There's going to be some inequality, digital inequality, where those that are not paying particular attention to the developments that are happening will be left behind. There's going to be an improvement in our global income levels as the quality of life for populations around the world improve. You can see some of the technologies, they actually improve our lives. We have seen major improvements in the healthcare where they are using artificial intelligence to try and diagnose even cancer patients, tumor, where the machines or the robots are doing quite much better than the specialists. So life is going to improve for some. There's going to be new products and services as well to increase the efficiency and our personal lives. Transportation and communication costs will reduce. We can imagine if the introduction of this self-driverless vehicles and even communication itself, it's going to improve. We have seen huge developments in the ICT industry, the introduction of 5G. So those are some of the technologies that are playing a big role in the 4IR space. Digital technologies will provide access to information and job opportunities. So for those that will have gained these skills in the fourth industrial revolution. Some of the few downsides of 4IR, there are plenty, there are many, but I just listed a few. Greater inequality, particularly in its potential to disrupt labor markets. There's going to be displacement of workers by technology and displacement of workers by machines. Let me touch on the cloud computing. So cloud computing is growing at an explosive pace now. The likes of AWS, Microsoft. There's this findings that Gartner estimates that spending on public cloud services will reach 383 billion by 2020, just by 2020 alone, up from the 246 billion in 2017, which is an improvement of 16.5%. So what is cloud computing? So it is an on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. So instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical and data centers and servers, you can access technology services such as computing power. So in order for us to create these massive technologies or these solutions, we need computing power because some of these technologies, they are using a lot of data. But cloud service providers, they are providing us with this computing power. Storage, we need a place where we can store this information. So you can get this storage via the cloud service providers and databases as well. So I will show you now just a demo of not that I'm marketing AWS services, but this is just one of my playing ground. So AWS services, this slide shows you now, as you can see, I've mentioned in the beginning that the 4IR includes AI, robotics, automation. So they have made these available to the user, to the customer, for us to be able to take advantage of those services and start to develop our own solutions. As you can see here, they have got services for machine learning, which has all these components as well. They've got services for storage. So if you want to store your information, your data, they've got services for offering computing power through their EC2 platforms, then virtual reality as well as analytics and databases. So they do have most of the services covered. Let me now jump into a demo, I think, just to show people what we mean by some of these technologies. Okay. So what is artificial intelligence? This is when a computer is doing a job or a program, a job that a human being, or a task that a human being usually does. So so you're programming a computer to do that task using machine learning algorithms. So that is artificial intelligence. So this is now, I'm just going now to look at a few examples of artificial intelligence where on this platform they've made available their services for the customer or the user to use. So the service that I want to look at, so this is when you log into the platform, when you create an account. So they do have what they call a free tier. If you want to explore on some of these services, you can create an account and get access to some of these services for free, right? And you start playing on the platform and creating some solutions there. So I'm logged into my account and I'm going to demo on two of the services that they are offering. Hopefully, we're still seeing this screen of AWS. Let me just stop sharing and share this screen. Right, so I'm logged into my account. So I would like to, for example, I would like to create a solution which converts text into speech, right? So I've got a business problem, a business use case that I want to create a solution that converts text into speech. I think we have experience of, we have had in contact with many of these solutions that are out there, right? So I can do that using the cloud computing services to create such kind of a solution. So what I can demo is if I use Amazon Poly, if I just run Amazon Poly, so I'm creating a solution that can convert text into speech, for example, right? So as you can see here, if I've got some text that I have got here, I can then convert that into speech. So if I play that, okay, so that text has been converted into speech. So using what we call natural language processing techniques. So I've got another text here that I can convert into text. So this is just an example of a text to speech algorithms. Okay? So this text is it's my bio. So it's reading my bio and converting that text. So I've just copied and pasted that text, and then it starts to convert the text into speech. You can change. You can have different voices. If you want male, we can change that. If you want a different voice, you can change. I think some have had a chance to use Siri, for example. Yeah, so those are some of the examples. Alexa, those are some of the examples there. So I've just changed to a female. Let me just change to a male voice and play it again. So you've got a different voice. There's a lot that you can actually do with this platform. So I didn't write any code to normally, as a data scientist, you need to write a program either in Python or in R to convert this text into speech. But now, because of AWS or because of these platforms that are made available, you can do that in a few minutes or in seconds or in a split of time. Let me now jump on to the next demo I want to show you guys. So this one was on changing text into speech. So there is also an example where you probably, within your business or the company you're working for, you want to build a program that, so chatbots, for example. So chatbots, I think you've had access to chatbots where if you open a website, for example, immediately we click onto a web page, there's communication. They ask, what's your name? How can we help you today? So those are some of the examples of chatbots where you can, it's like a human being talking to you, but yet it's not a human being, it's a program. So that is a chatbot. So Amazon, you've got this platform, Amazon Lex, where you can build your conversational interfaces using voice and text, right? So normally you go to Python and you start to define your problem there, and you can then start to create your bot. So this is just one example. Another example of creating a bot or a chatbot now in seconds. So for this example, I'm going to try their sample. I'm going to try their sample. For example, I would like to book a trip, for example. So if I use that option, so you can book a trip, or you can schedule an appointment with a doctor or with your specialist, with your lecturer or with your boss at work using this chatbots. You can also do customized bots where you have your own information that you want to program. You can use that as well. So I'm going to use the one that is already done for us for booking a trip, for example. So if I go to book a trip, just click on book a trip. So I'm showing you, this is now an example of a chatbot, which usually is playing. These bots are almost everywhere now. Any website you try and access, you might be greeted by a bot. Even when you call in the call centers, you also be greeted by maybe a voice assistant that has been programmed to say certain words and assist customers. So this improves efficiency and also improves the customer experience. So I'm going to create a bot quickly that's going to book a car rental. I'm traveling. say I'm traveling to the US and I would like to book a car when I land at the airport. I'm going to configure a few things here. Please indicate if you use the bot subject to that's no. You can click no, and then you can create. Okay, so it's going to take a few minutes. Do you capturing questions on your side there? Right, so this is a bot now that it's creating. It's building up, and already in seconds, as you can see, guys, I've just launched a chatbot, a bot in seconds. So because I'm using a sample that Amazon have made available to us to use. So this chatbot is going to ask you about the city you are traveling to. In what city do you need to rent a car? Then it's going to ask you about what you want to start, when do you want to start your rental? So about the dates, so the pickup date and the return date. So normally, usually when you are booking a car, you need to provide them with the pickup date from the airport and the return date and where you're picking up that vehicle. And then your age as well, your driver's age and the type of car that you want to book. So this is book trip was successfully built. So I can start to test my bot here. Even if I can just type book a car, for example. So they give you these utterances, these simple utterances, something that to start the conversation. So if I type in book a car and click enter, then the bot will ask me, in what city do you need to rent a car? So already it's asking me the city. So I can then respond to say maybe Atlanta. Let me just say Los Angeles. What do you want to start your rental? Maybe I can just give a date here. Maybe I want to start on in December on the 3rd, something like that. So when do you want to return it? So I'm going to hire this vehicle for maybe just 2 days, right? Then I'm going to give my age, example. Then the type of car you like to rent. Our most popular options are economy, mid-size, and luxury. Maybe I want a luxury car this time. Then it then confirms. As you can see that, okay, I have you down for a luxury rental in Los Angeles from this date to that date. Should I book a reservation for you? Then you click yes. Then it then confirms that reservation. So I'm not talking to a human being or an agent, but I'm talking to a bot. So this is how cool it is. Just to make, I mean, it also allows you to cut time in the waiting list on hold on the waiting for someone to assist you. So I've just shown you 2 examples of where AI through the use of natural language processing is being used effectively. And the platform for building your machine learning models, they have a platform called Amazon SageMaker, where you can start to explore on what they have and start to build some solution. So machine learning is the use of these algorithms to build models or solutions that can help us to predict, for example, what's going to happen in the future. There's a few examples of these algorithms like logistic regression models, random forest, neural networks. So they have advanced the neural networks, which performs just like the human brain, into deep learning, where they are using these technologies or these algorithms to build autonomous vehicles through the use of the deep learning techniques. So that's just an example of where you can get the machine learning algorithms, and also in the financial sector, they do have the Amazon Forecast and Amazon Fraud Detect, where they're using these solutions to actually predict or tell whether this account is a fraudulent account, or whether there's been some bad activity on a customer account, for example, by looking at the withdrawals and the deposits, and whether the person is the owner of the account, for example. So they're trying to use these technologies to try and reduce fraud, and also secure clients' accounts. Okay. Let me just, so these were just a few examples. Let me just now just jump over to the slides. Right, so these are the examples I've shown you. Visual reality, I think some of you are using this to even in the gaming space, where you are just trying to get the most experience in the gaming space when you're playing your video games through the use of the visual reality. I think the key takeaway, I know there's a lot to cover, and we cannot do that in one day, but I think the key takeaway is that the fourth industrial revolution is here. There is an argument where some might say that we are still battling with the second and the third industrial revolution, which is the digital space and the introduction of the internet. But the fourth is also here in some countries. If you look at China, the US, Russia, they are doing quite some immense developments there using the latest cutting edge technologies. So as the youth, as this session is mainly directed to the youth of today, we need to start to think of ways of aligning ourselves to the jobs that are available, and the skills that are required now in order for us to partake in the fourth industrial revolution. So we do that through the reskilling, through upskilling, through education, learning platforms. I've mentioned a few: Coursera, I've mentioned DataCamp, even there are a lot of data science meetup groups available out there that you can join. One of them is Fusion AI Communities, which is free, where you just come in, you join the group, you start to learn with us, and you better yourself in the space. We also need to start to think of ways of launching our own businesses, becoming entrepreneurs, or launching our own startups in the AI space as well. So that's what we start to need to think of. So I've got a quote here from John Williams, who is the global lead at PwC, who says, as individuals, she's the actual human beings, what we need to do is to thrive and prosper in whatever the new world brings. The secret for a bright future seems to me to lie in the flexibility and the ability to reinvest yourself. So if you believe that the STEM skills, I know Letu is driving quite intensively on the STEM skills, trying to get this message out there to the youth, unemployed youth, the youth, you need the skills. So if you believe that the future lies in the STEM skills, I think Go Digital Foundation strongly believes that the future lies in the STEM skills. Fusion AI strongly believes that the skills lies in the STEM skills. There are a lot of organizations out there who believe that the future lies in the STEM skills. Then start to train us for that. You start to train for that. You start to introduce yourself to programming, for example. Just search which programming languages are being used out there. I would recommend Python, R, Java, and start to look at what they can do and start to learn on your own, and also on the platforms that I've just mentioned that are completely free. And in some courses, you even get digital certificates for you to then add onto your resume or onto your CV, and when you apply for jobs. So if you believe that the future lies in the STEM skills and that and it interests you, and train for that, you start to train for that. But be prepared to rethink if the world doesn't need so many programmers. And so they're saying, be prepared. I've just shown you the introduction of cloud computing platforms where you don't actually need to program, to write a program for that. You just need to know how to use the service and develop your solution. But be prepared to rethink if the world doesn't need so many programmers. So I think they are now saying that you need to also start to, position yourself and start to engage and prepare yourself for the cloud technologies. If you're a great accountant who has prospered by building strong client relationships, think how you can apply that capability without necessarily having to be an accountant. This is very interesting. So if you're a great accountant, I know great accountants. So you build your relationships on strong client relationships. Think on how you can apply that capability without necessarily having to be an accountant. Think about yourself as a bundle of skills and capabilities, not defined role or profession. So I have seen a lot of guys who are in other spaces, like, for example, accounting, for example, law, for example. They are also now training as data scientists, because these skills, data scientists, data science, it applies to any organization or to any field. It applies to most of the problems that we face as organizations, as customers, as clients, as employees, as employers. So we have seen this now. Don't look at yourself as a profession, but rather start to look at the skills that you need to get in order for you to align yourself to the 4IR or to the fourth industrial revolution through gaining these skills. I've just added a few additional resources that you can look at as well, just some YouTube videos to just try to better understand the 4IR. Let's say I think I've come to the end of my talk or my presentation. I hope it was useful, and I hope that the guys out there have learned a few things, and they can start to think of ways of getting involved in the 4IR space through, I've mentioned communities, groups, forums, and online courses. Some of them, they are free. Collaboration with other people who are doing similar work. We have shared this similar interests there, because the reality is that some jobs will be redundant, and we have seen people losing a lot of jobs. You can look at now, even recently, just a few days or 2 days back, or SABC trying to retrench quite a number of their employees, and we have seen a reaction within the unions and the protests that are happening to try and stop SABC from retrenching. We have seen South African Airways, retrenching people. This is real, guys. This is real. So my plea to you is that let's take advantage of the time and the platforms that Letu is giving us, Fusion AI is giving us, to try and learn together and be involved and just be aware of what's happening out there, what you need to prepare yourself to be able for you to be relevant to the current workforce. For that, I think I say thank you. Letu, I think
that's an early thank you.
Yeah.
That's an early thank you. I'm just kidding.
It's an early thank you. It's 5 now, so I normally want to keep my talks short for an hour, and then yeah, you can imagine. So if there are questions, I'm happy to engage, and I'm happy to respond to the questions.
Okay. The first question is how can I create an Amazon Web Services account? And is there any credit card that is required, credit card information, that kind of stuff? And where can I, okay, you did say it, but like, I wish that maybe like you can repeat it, because there's somebody that asked that, like, where can I learn for free how to use Amazon Web Services or other services, maybe like Microsoft Azure?
Okay, so Ray, that's a very important question. So there are two ways of doing it. The first approach is to use a credit card for those that have credit cards. So it won't charge you. You won't get charged. So they just use it to verify the information that you're providing to them. So you won't get charged only if you leave the services running and your free time is used up, or your free resources that they allocate to you are used up, and then they can start to charge you. But once again, when you are moving from the free option, the free tie option, to the paid one, they will also communicate with you that we have come to the end of your free tie version. Would you like us to move you to the pay-as-you-go version or option? Then you still can say, no, I'm fine, I don't want to move to the pay-as-you-go, or yes, you can move me to the pay-as-you-go. Then you need to start to monitor your services or the work that you'll be doing on the platform. So that's the other one. That mainly fits well with professionals, people who are already working, people who have bank accounts. Then for those that do not have bank accounts, I wish I could say there's an easier way of them verifying. But what I'm currently doing is Fusion AI communities. We have got, I think, have you seen on my slide, the first slide, we partnered with AWS. So I also see that GoDigital is a partner as well with AWS. So I've partnered with AWS. So what I do is I get a list of individuals. So I'm not saying people must come to me for this, but it's just another way how we are doing it as Fusion AI communities. So what we do is I requested for vouchers or for vouchers from AWS, and then you provide them with a list of the names of people, and then they provide you with those vouchers or the digital vouchers or the code that you can then create accounts for those guys or for that group. So that's one example that we are doing it. I created an account for my students or my community using that approach, and they are learning for free. And then I then applied, so I requested for credits to be loaded onto their account. So they load credits to your accounts. Initially, they give you $50 worth of credits. Then as the instructor, or as the educator, you can also request for more credits if ever they get finished up. So that's one other second way of doing it for those who do not have credit cards. But again, that works for, so the second option works for these students who are registered in higher education. So that's another challenge for students who are working in higher education. So, but because as Fusion AI, I partnered with AWS, we are able to say we are doing work in communities, and this is the list of the students who are doing the program with us. So we request that we have accounts, we get access to the platform. So that has been working well for us for now, because our students have access to the platforms and to the most of the services that AWS provides. We could do machine learning, deploy models, train models. We could even create chatbots with the students using Amazon Lex for free. We could also use Amazon Poly to do text to speech. We're still learning, we're still exploring as well. This program ends in December, I think, and we'll take it from there in December to see if we have covered most of the stuff that we want to cover. So that's another way of doing it. So you need to be associated or affiliated with a community or an organization which is running community programs like Fusion AI, for example, or GoDigital, for example. So this link that I'm showing you, this is our link to our website where you can go and check out some of the cool stuff that we are doing there. So I think I've tried to emphasize or try to explain more on the two ways of getting AWS accounts. As for Microsoft, I know you need a credit card as well to create that free account, and they also allocate resources and also allocate credits to your account. And once you start to use the platform, there's a lot of support. There's a lot of resources that are out there. If you go to the official website of Amazon, for example, and official website of Microsoft, there's a lot of resources for beginners. They take you step by step on how to create an Amazon account. I wish I could just maybe plug it in there, the AWS URL, but it's very easy to get to Amazon Web Services website. And then there is options that create account. There's step-by-step information there that shows you how to create an account. There's a lot of training. Some of it is free for people to register for training provided by the experts, the guys who have been working at Amazon for long. So they have free courses, free training sessions, some of them through webinars, some of them through, through workshops. They've got a YouTube channel. If you just type in Amazon Web Services, they've got a YouTube channel. They've got guys that talk about different, topics there. There is also some training, some demos on a step-by-step if you want to use a service, for example. Do you have a follow-up question on that, Letu? I think I've managed to give more information.
Somebody's asking, please kindly share the platforms one can use to enroll for online courses regarding 4IR. I heard you mentioning Java, etc.
Okay, so Letu, are you still seeing my additional slides? It says additional results. So I think I'm just going to okay, let me just cross-check. It's www.coursera. Let me just cross-check for you guys. Let me just cross-check Coursera. I just want to give you the correct URL. So Coursera is one of them. So it's www.coursera.org. So www.coursera.org. That's my favorite one. Let me just plug it in onto the Coursera.org. Then there is Data Camp. It's also my favorite one. Data Camp. So on this platform, guys, you can learn data science. They've got data science courses. You can also learn programming. They've got R, they've got Python programming. You can also learn artificial intelligence. You can also learn machine learning. I wish we could also have another follow-up session at some point in time just about artificial AI and machine learning, a follow-up session on that, so that we can go deeper into it. Then there's Data Camp. As you can see, there's Data Camp, Coursera. Those are some of the most interesting ones that I have for you, but there are plenty of them. Is that fine? Later, I've just given them two just as a starting point. Maybe they can go to Coursera and they will find everything they need there on this platform, or even Data Camp as well.
All right. And the other question is mobile platform or mobile app that one can use to learn like the basics. Learn basics, so maybe theory or let me just put it that way. Is there any mobile app that one can use to learn data science, deep learning, artificial intelligence, and computer vision?
So Coursera has got mobile version. So if you go to the Playing Store, you can actually download their mobile version.
Oh yeah.
Coursera. So they do have I do have it with me here. Coursera. They do have a mobile version. Data Camp. Let's see, Data Camp. They do have also a mobile version. Even if you, as you can see, there's Data Camp. It's a mobile version where you can install it on your. It's an app where you can install it on your Android phone and start to learn. There are a lot of resources. If you just type in on your Play Store, if you type in Introduction to Programming, for example, or to Python, for example, you can actually get some interesting apps there. The other platform, you can also collaborate and learn with others. Introduction to Programming. I know when I had students who didn't have access to laptops later, I asked them to download Python apps, mobile version. So I asked them to download Python. There's one that is called QPython. It's called QPython 3L. It's an app that you can learn. You can write code, Python code. For those students who don't have access to a computer or a laptop, they can actually start to write their code there using their phones and learn Python. So they do have a community there. You can ask questions. They do have an edit programs there. So yes, there are quite a number of apps that are available.
Awesome.
It's called QPython 3.
I'm actually downloading it now.
Yes, I'm sure for Arad, I'm sure they do have mobile versions, mobile apps for Arad. I haven't looked into that, but I know Python has got some.
Awesome. Thank you very much. This has been, I don't know if I should say delightful, informative. It's been, like the way that I was waiting for this session, like from last week. Last week, after you spoke to me and said that you want to do this for the youth. It's awesome. So maybe like since we are facing such issues in South Africa, just like GBVF, gender-based violence and femicide, and what else? There's like multiples of problems that we are facing in South Africa currently. And what can one do? Maybe like an idea that one can do to maybe fight something like this using technology just like this kind of technology, machine learning technology?
Okay, so it's thanks for that question. It's interesting because I'm working on a similar work project on gender-based violence. So what we did there, what we did. So I'm just now going to give you an example of how we are approaching it using artificial intelligence. So what one can do is there's a lot of information on our social platforms, media platforms, for example, Twitter and Facebook, right? So what we as Fusion AI communities, we getting access to that information. For example, tweets, for example. We're getting access to those tweets. Anything that has got a hashtag on GBV, gender-based violence, stop GBV, we got hold of that using our technologies, using our platforms. So you can either use Python, for example, to connect to Twitter, and then you start to scrape those tweets or fetch that information from Twitter, or even you can do it with Facebook as well to scratch those posts using APIs that you can use in Python. So that's how we are getting that information into our Python environment, and then starting to mine. So we want to understand what is being said about GBV in South Africa, for example. So some of the topics that being discussed, for example. So you can then start to use natural language processing. So natural language processing it deals with unstructured information like your posts, for example. So it converts that into a structured information, and it converts that into useful information so that one can be able to really find patterns in that information. You can imagine you have got just a chunk of unstructured information or of tweets, right? You've got an CSV on Excel file of tweets. You want to convert that information into something that an algorithm or a program can analyze and get insights or get information, useful information out of that. So that's what we're doing. We're extracting that information, and we are running that information over our program to try and get that information into, for example, into topics, for example. We want to understand which topics are being said about gender-based violence. We have some of the interesting topics is the policing, for example, where people report their cases, and in some cases nothing is being done, or there is no collaboration between, for example, the police and the communities, for example. Is very high. We are picking that from the information that we are mining. So a lot of information or technologies or platforms that you can use to try and solve some of the community problems that we are facing. You can, after you've maybe put that into topics and get the sentiment with the process called sentiment analysis. Ascertain whether people are positive and what's being said is negative or positive, for example. And you can then start to even run some predictive models. You can then start to run some predictive models on that information to better understand, identify areas where, the next case or the next GBV can happen, for example. You start to predict hotspots and identify them and put them on a map and identify them as hotspots. So there is a lot that you can do with these technologies, that's available.
Awesome. Awesome information. And I hope that the youth that is watching out there, listening into this session and watching and being with us, Well, yeah, I hope that they have captured this information and they're going to use it. And those that asking for the links, I have posted the links on the chats. Um, there's the links on Facebook, and I'm going to put the links again on YouTube. And whatever else that you'll want to know. Innocent, the other thing that they want to know is that how can they connect with you?
Okay, so they can connect with me through my LinkedIn page. I think that's where
Post that one
we
too.
connected the letters.
Yep.
So through my LinkedIn page, I can just share my page. Just quickly, give me a second. I will share my page quickly so that you can drop it on the chat and share with them. So they can connect with me on my LinkedIn page. That's where we post most of our events there. And yeah, so let me just add a new slide and post this. Hopefully, you are able to look to access it later. So that's my
Yep.
LinkedIn page there. So they can connect with me there, or they can connect with us through www.fusionai. That's the kind of work that we're doing with communities.co.za to join our AI community. So you can reach out to www.fusionai.co.za and you contact us through that page, and then we can then add you to our groups. We've got WhatsApp groups, we've got Slack groups that are running, where we just we meet and discuss some of the AI topics, the trending topics, and the cutting edge technologies, and we learn together as the young professionals and the youth. So either through the web, the LinkedIn, or you can drop a message through the LinkedIn. For those that do not have LinkedIn, I don't use Facebook for my professional work, but rather LinkedIn or websites. So I mean, the youth, they need to start to have some LinkedIn profiles, I guess. That's where we can help them to build their profiles there. And market themselves with the employers, and also connect with other professionals. So you can either use the, let me just give you this one, innocent@fusion.ai.co.za, because it's linked to our communities. So if you can send me an email at innocent@fusionai.co.za, I'm happy to further engage and add you to the relevant groups. So our groups, just like I think what Let is doing, we provide data science training. Some of it is free, completely free, like I said. We're a group where we meet on Sundays. All you need is connected to the internet, and you need to have access to the internet and a device, a laptop, that's for you to use during the session on Sundays between 11 and 12. Then we have follow-up sessions on WhatsApp. We've got a group on WhatsApp, and we've got a group on Slack. And yes, so you can send me an email at innocent@fusionai.co.za, or through our website and my LinkedIn page. What else? Yeah, so that's how they can connect with me. Hopefully, I'm hoping that with the permission of Letu, we have more sessions where we actually do the actual demos,
Definitely.
the actual coding or programming, and actually building of some of the solutions.
Most
ML and AI. Yes.
Most definitely. Because
that's how to get hold of me. So this page is how to get in touch. How to get in touch. Okay, how to get in touch. So yes.
Most definitely. Because the aim is to reach out to the youth and maybe show them some skills that they can learn to enhance themselves or develop themselves further. Um, it's like, you know, the norm that everybody, like the words that everybody says, like there's no employment, and you know, like even the skills or the stats showing that there's a high unemployment in South Africa, you know, but
Yes.
people can actually like learn new stuff and maybe come up with a startup idea, run the startup idea, and with the help from Microsoft and Amazon, they can actually like launch their startup ideas or their startup businesses. So that's what I like the aim of these sessions, to like show people different technologies and they can learn from those technologies. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that's
still
that's
there.
that's 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 right. I've just added our Slack community there.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I've added our Slack community for
Mm-hmm.
people who you've got want to connect with us through Slack. Yes, so I think we need to start as youth or as young professionals. We need to start to think of launching our own businesses or
Mm.
our own startups, rather than to depend on the jobs that are already there. Which it's very challenging to get a job or to get employed. We need to start to think of our to creating our own employment as youth. And so I've always been advocating for that as well. And I think as one of our visions, the reason why we are training data science professionals is to have people who can actually then, after being trained, and go and launch their
Start their
own
own thing.
startups.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. As GoDigitalSA Foundation, we thank you for your time to teach us something new, show us something new. And yeah, I've created my own account too on Amazon Web Services. So I'm just gonna dive in. Whenever I'm having trouble, I'm just gonna go into Fusion AI, check out the stuff that you'll have. Yeah. Oh, the other thing is that I wanted to ask, but we can just have it for another session.
Yes.
Because of the time and the weather on my side is not really, really good. So yeah, thank you very much, Innocent. Uh, we appreciate it. It's a lot of information, and I hope that everybody has grasped something new and they're gonna unpack, learn further, continue learning. Thank you very much, Eno.
Thank you for hosting me, Leto. Until we meet again next time. Thank you. Thank you,
Awesome,
everyone, for attending. Thank you so much.
awesome. Cheers. Well, that's it, guys. That's it. Hoping that you learned something new and you enjoyed the session. It was quite a bit long, but it was long and informative. Don't forget again to catch us again on Tuesday for another introduction to Python programming session with Dave Semilink, aka Uncle Dave. All right. Maybe I can just announce this, but no, I'll just announce it maybe next week. Next week, just to be sure, because there's a computer science week coming up. Yeah, I'll tell you the details later. But for now, cheers and see you next time. Same day. I mean, like same time. What am I saying? Same time next week, Saturday at 4. I already said same time. So what are you saying? All right. Anyways, I think I'm tired. Woo! Kaboom!